Hello my friends, welcome to the first of the book recommendations during Bookmas. I'm going to have a variety of videos this month. Some of them are going to be recommendations, some of them are going to be TBRs. We've got a lot of variety, but today's recommendation video. I have been wanting to do a historical mystery recommendations video for quite a while. Ever since I did my historical ones in the summer, I did both World War II historical recommendations as well as non-World War II historical recommendations. I recently did like a mystery recommendations, and now we're mashing them up, but there shouldn't be any overlap here, not to my knowledge. I have one book exception. One of them is going to be dual timeline. The one timeline will be a little bit more modern. Other than that, from what I can remember, if there is dual timelines, they're both very historical. There's some variety here. My preferences for historical mysteries are that, well, first of all, they have to be good, but I really don't enjoy like overtly feminist historical mysteries. I'm all for like a strong female character, but I have read a number of historical mysteries that are like so often feeling like it's just pushed so much, like the main character is so powerful and you just need to know she's so powerful. And I'm like, if she's so powerful, stop telling me and start showing me. Like, yeah, I really can't handle the Enola Holmes series anymore because of that. I enjoyed the first couple books, and then I realized like just how much that's repeated all the time. Like, stop telling me. So I try to shy away from books like that because it gets me irritated pretty quickly, I've realized. But I've got some great ones for you here today. We'll start with the ones I have physical copies for, move into the ones that I don't. We're gonna start off just like with one of my favorite old ladies, and that is Mrs. Paulifax. The first book in the series is The Unexpected Mrs. Paulifax. This is a 14-book series. I have a couple left, dragging my feet because I just don't really want it to end. In this first book, we meet Mrs. Paulifax. She's in her 60s. She's going to the doctor for like mild depression, and he says, "Isn't there something that you've always wanted to do?" And she's like, "Yes, I've always wanted to be a spy." So she goes to the CIA building, hangs out there, kind of accidentally gets hired, and it's just a good old time. Like, she is funny and smart. Like, she's not the kind of character that is ditzy and just like stumbles across things. Like, she actually uses her brain. In this first one, we go with her to Mexico City. This series started being published in the 70s, 60s. And it was written over quite a period of time. And some of them, the countries that she goes to no longer exist because countries have changed, borders have shifted. I feel like I've learned some geography from reading this series. So highly recommend Mrs. Paulifax. She's one of my favorites from this list. So if you haven't already tried her, please do so. It can be hard to get your hands on a copy if you're trying to get it from the library or the thrift stores, but they are reprinting the books into these covers, which are much better than the super tacky covers that they originally published under. Spend some time with her. Enjoy hanging out with Mrs. Paulifax. You know I'm gonna have to mention Agatha Christie, right? I mean, I could mention any of her books. I just grabbed this Miss Marple's complete short stories. I'm actually not done it. I've read some of them. I'm still working through it, but I love some Agatha Christie. I have a number of videos with her books. I recently shared some of my favorites of hers. Honestly, my favorites, some of the books in this edition will say Agatha Christie's favorite mysteries. This one doesn't. It just shows the list of Miss Marple's mysteries. Almost every book that Agatha Christie found a favorite is a favorite of mine as well. She has so many great books. The short stories are a good place to start because I love Miss Marple. Her and Mrs. Paulifax, they do have a lot in common. Miss Marple is very like behind the scenes kind of person. She's not out there a ton talking a lot. But other than that, check out my favorite Agatha Christie video because I explain which ones I think you should start with, which ones are my favorites, and maybe like a few to avoid or like wait a little while on. Next up is, I think this is a 5-book series. It's the Electra McDonnell series. The first book is A Peculiar Combination, which when I got this book shortly after it came out 5-ish years ago, I could not say the word peculiar. Well, now I'm struggling with it. But it was one of those words that I could say it, like in my head, I knew how to say it, but my mouth couldn't say it. And now that I've recommended this book so much over the years, I can actually finally say the word. So I feel really proud for that reason. A little bit of a side tangent there. So in this one, we follow Electra McDonnell, her family. They are locksmiths. They are also safe crackers, sometimes for the good of the law and sometimes for thieving. And at the beginning of this book, her and her uncle get caught breaking into a safe in like a mansion, and they get told they can either go to jail or they can help the war effort, because we are set during World War II, and they can help the war effort by spying and stealing documents and using their talents for the good of the war. And obviously they decide to help out the war effort, and we follow them on this journey. There's also some backstory. Electra was born in prison. Her mother went to jail for murdering her father, and Electra was born there. And so there is a personal mystery that follows through the books. I really enjoyed this series. Very much recommend it. This next series, I am not very far in. I think there's 20 some books. It's the Maisie Dobbs series. I loved book 1, and I think I've read 2 or 3 books. These ones are set just, well, not just after, like 10 years after World War I. Maisie was a nurse, I think, or something of the sort during World War I. And now she opens up her own detective agency. I think that part kind of happens at the end of this, but she does come across a mystery in here that she solves. And this book very much flips back and forth between her time in World War I as well as like the current mystery. Prior to the war, Maisie worked as a maid or some kind of servant in a bigger house. And so we flip back to her time before World War I, her time in World War I, as well as this mystery. And I really like the series. Other than the book that I'm currently on, the audiobook is terrible. And then I haven't picked up the physical book. So this is maybe a series. I think I've only tried the book that I'm currently on. I can't remember which one it is. I think that's only one I've tried on audio, and so I don't know if I would recommend any of the others, but I wouldn't recommend that one. Maybe just pick them up physically. Some books may be better on audio. This series, maybe not. And then I'm just kind of also overwhelmed by the fact that there is so many books in this series, but I do plan on reading them at some point. Here is my one exception. This one is like dual or maybe triple timeline, but they're all very historical. Whereas this one has some kind of modern, like a modern timeline as well. I think it's like 2000, which is modernish. But we're not really in that timeline very much. And that's The Lake House. Wow, we are bright here. The Lake House by Kate Morton. This is one of my favorites of hers. I feel like it's the one that reads the most like a mystery of hers. So in 1933, a young boy vanished from his crib. And then in the 2000s, we are following a detective who is on leave. Something happened, and she's coming across this mystery. She's she's in the area where this big estate was, where this child was abducted or went missing. And because she's a detective and she's got time off, she's investigating. And Kate Morton's books are usually good, but just like a little too long. And I didn't feel that with this one. I was present for every page of this one, not just constantly trying to figure out how many more pages before we got somewhere. So yeah, I don't think it's her most popular book. I would say probably The Forgotten Garden is probably her most popular one, but this one is my favorite, I think. The Forgotten Garden's also really good, but I think this one is better, or I was just more into like the mystery of it. Okay, this next one I think I read at the beginning of the year. It's called A Lethal Engagement, and we're set in a Victorian, I think we're going from the United States to England, except we are going on an airship, and our main character is engaged. She's on the airship. Her father has left this airship legacy to her. Her fiance's on the airship and a bunch of other people, and some murders start occurring. It definitely has those locked room mystery vibes because everyone is on this airship, this like blimp that's floating across the ocean. You gotta figure out who did it. I had a lot of fun with it. I think this was my second book by A.J. Skelly. The first one, I think I read them in this order, was one that I totally forgot to mention as a recommendation for a Christmas book. It's Murder at Misselthwaite Manor. So if you're still looking for a Christmas book to read, if you're looking for a Christmas mystery, it's also got the locked room mystery vibes because we are in an estate. This one starts out with an invitation, an exclusive invitation. This house, whoever lives there, sends out invites each year to a couple of people, handful of guests, and no one ever really talks about it. And so our main character, Emma, gets invited to the estate, and it's kind of got a bit of a high stakes game, as well as a dead body that appears. It wasn't quite what she thought it was going to be. And I'm gonna leave it at that because it is a murder mystery. I can't believe I forgot to mention this one in my Christmas book recommendations. I gave it 5 stars. It should have been on there. Oh well, that's another book for me to put on my list for next year. Okay, I know there's a lot of like old lady detectives, amateur sleuths on this list already. We're gonna keep going with it. And I'm gonna mention Mrs. Jeffries. So this series, we follow Mrs. Jeffries. She's like the head maid, I don't even know what her like official title is, in this inspector's house. And this inspector is a little bit airheaded. She and the rest of the staff definitely help him out. They direct him a lot. She tries to do it in a way where he's not offended, where he thinks that he has solved it. She will be like, oh yeah, well, like, I know you're thinking this. And he'll be like, oh, I was thinking that. I don't necessarily like the whole airhead inspector vibe, but overall the stories have been good, so it's one that I'm working on, but just like very slowly working on. Another series I read the first book of this year and then forgot to put it on a list of books that I need to continue reading, and that is Murder at the Mayfair Hotel. That's the first book. It's the Cleopatra Fox series, and we follow a woman named Cleopatra Fox. We're set in 1899 to start, and her grandmother has just passed away, a grandmother she was really close to. So now she's going to this hotel to live with her aunt, uncle, and her cousin. I think there was just one cousin. And it's a very ritzy hotel. She didn't grow up in this kind of environment. And I forgot that this one is actually set at Christmas as well. So on Christmas Eve, one of the guests is poisoned. And then suddenly Cleopatra has like purpose to her life. Instead of just sitting around at this hotel and like living a rich life that she's not accustomed to, she tries to figure out what happened. And I don't know, she obviously enjoys it because she goes on to solve a bunch of mysteries after it. Definitely want to continue that series. A series that I just barely picked back up is the Flavia de Luce series. The first book is The Sweetness at the Bottom of the Pie, and we follow an 11-year-old girl who is like a mini Sherlock. She really likes chemistry, she's very observant, and she keeps coming across dead bodies. It is not a middle grade series, even though our main character is young. If I was including middle grade historical mysteries on here as well, this list would have gotten really long. I'm just keeping it to like adult books, as well as maybe some YA. But yeah, Flavia is a really unique character because she is this kid that is the main character for an adult book. She has two older sisters who constantly pick on her. She lives with them and her father in this big estate that their mother inherited. Their mother died years before, and it's set, I think, in like the 50s. So she does a lot of like biking around, and I feel like it's a really interesting time for it to be set. I don't know why I stopped the series for so long. I think I read the first two books 5 to 7 years ago. More than 5 years ago, yeah, because I think it was before book 2. So yeah, I'm just getting back into them now because someone mentioned on my post where I had a list of books that I think are better as audiobooks, that was mentioned, and the series was mentioned, and then I was like, oh yeah, I should keep going. And now here I am. And my last recommendation is one that I read in the summer or the fall. The first book is called A Quiet Life in the Country. This is a Lady Hardcastle mystery series. We are set in 1908. So we have Lady Hardcastle. She's moving from London to the countryside along with her like companion or maid. I think her name is Florence. And like in theory they're there to rest, but one can't really like go from a busy life to resting. But thankfully I guess that there's a murder, and so they get themselves involved. I'm curious because I've only read the first book in the series. Lady Hardcastle and Florence obviously they have been together for a long time. Like they've been through a lot. Lady Hardcastle is widowed, and it sounds like they were almost up to some like spy stuff previously, and I'm curious to see if that like plays out through the rest of the series. We just got snippets of it in the first book, and I was like, I want more of this, but it will be fun if that like slowly gets revealed. Okay, so I probably forgot some, but those are the historical mysteries I'm recommending for now. If you guys have some recommendations, please leave them in the comments below because I'm always looking for some more good historical mysteries to put on my radar.